In Capstone research class, writing a literature review is crucial. For most students, it's just another assignment. But for Joshua, it's a crisis.
What's a literature review? I thought we just read a book and reviewed it. Like, yo, but for books.
Boy, it's not a book review. You gather academic sources, summarize them, and explain how they relate to your research.
It's like a big book report.
No, it's more like detective work, where you find sources, connect the dots, and then evaluate.
If Josh writes a book report instead of a lit review, he might as well just submit a pizza order.
You have to find sources that are credible, like academic journals or peer-reviewed articles, not your cousin's blogs or Reddit theories.
Peer-reviewed. Like a friend looks at it?
No, like other experts in the field of review.
Josh, J-Dizzle, first you gotta summarize your sources. Then after that, you need to compare them and evaluate which ones may contradict themselves.
So it's like gossiping about research?
Sure, if gossiping required citations. Honestly, if Josh channels his enthusiasm for conspiracy theories into this project, he might be okay.
Ugh. How do I know what I'm missing?
That's the gap. Look at your sources and figure out what questions they leave unexplored. That's where your research comes in.
So I'm solving a mystery?
Exactly, except it's a research mystery. I never thought I'd compare a literature review to detective work, but if that's what gets Josh going, then so be it.
Okay, so I'm synthesizing the sources, identifying the gap. I'm like Sherlock Holmes, but for lit reviews.
Close enough.
I used to think the lit review was like a fancy word for a book report, but now it's like a heist, and the prize is academic credibility. So I need credible sources, like Wikipedia?
No! Academic journals, books by experts, and studies.
Think of it this way. Would your teacher trust a report written by your neighbor or one written by a professor?
Depends. Does that professor have a PhD in conspiracy theories?
Every time Josh opens his mouth, I lose a little bit of faith in the education system.
Start with these: EBSCO, Google Scholar, and our school's library database.
EBSCO. Is that like an online bakery?
No. That's where you find published research papers. If Josh could put as much effort into research as he does finding new conspiracy theory podcasts, we have a PhD level lit review by now.
Once you've got your sources, you'll then do the annotated bibliography. You'll make notes about each thing, like a summary, strengths, and weaknesses of each source.
So I'm grading the authors?
In a way, yes. You're analyzing how useful each source is for your project.
Watching Josh learn how to write this lit review is like watching a toddler learn how to walk in a minefield.
See, you have to compare the sources. Which ones are agreeing? Which ones are contradicting? And which ones are leaving some information out?
So if three sources agree, and one says the opposite, that's interesting, right?
Bang! Now you've got it. That's a contradiction worth exploring.
I feel like I'm starting to get it. It's like building a case, lining up witnesses, and figuring out who's lying.
Now, once you've summarized and compared, look for the gap. What's missing? What needs more research to be done?
So my project fills that gap?
Nailed it! That's your contribution to the field! He might just pull this off. Who knew connecting a literature review to a crime investigation might work?
Okay, I got the introduction, the summary, the sources, the comparison, and the gap. What now?
Now, wrap it up with a conclusion that ties everything together.
And proofread. You don't want to end with, in conclusion, this was a lit review.
I get it now. It's not just about reading and writing. It's about connecting ideas and finding out what's missing. Detective Josh on the case. And that's why the relationship between media consumption and conspiracy beliefs needs further exploration.
Holy smokes, he nailed that.
Who knew we had a lit review prodigy on our hands?
In the end, Josh did the impossible. He turned his lit review into a detective story. Maybe research isn't so bad after all.